Hi, everybody. My name is Deb Constein. I am Zooming in from Madison, Wisconsin, and I am a medically retired registered dietitian. So I'm here to help demo some really fun smoothies, and I hope you enjoy them. So a couple things that I do, just a few volunteer type things that I do for the Arthritis Foundation. I'm a co-chair of the National Walk Committee. I am the chair-elect for the National Advocacy Committee. I'm Platinum Ambassador. I also am a facilitator for one of the Connect groups here in Madison. And I'm also the Central Region lead for the Connect groups as well. And those are just a couple of the things that I do for the Arthritis Foundation. You can see it's obviously one of my passions. So we're gonna get started. And basically, we're going to focus on some items that are anti-inflammatory in quality. So that means that they have antioxidants, probiotics, flavonoids, all those really, really good things for your body that will hopefully lessen the amount of inflammation in your body. So first things first, first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my hands. Always super, super important to do. I want to start with a really clean palette. All right. Now, another thing I want to point out is, so I am using a Ninja blender, and it is super, super sharp. So if you are going to make your own smoothie, make sure you always have an adult there with you, whether it's mom, dad, grandma, babysitter, whoever. Just make sure, because again, these blades are incredibly sharp. So I have myself cut myself many times. So the first smoothie I'm going to make is one of the standard ones. I have a 22-year-old boy, and he is constantly making smoothies and protein shakes and things like that. So first ingredient I'm going to have is a frozen banana. Now, I froze this last night. One recommendation, I used to freeze my bananas with the skin on. So, for instance, if I had these bananas, I would used to just throw them right into the freezer. But for them to come out, you have to get the skin off, and the skin really adheres to it. So I really, really recommend peeling your banana first and throw it into a baggie. They don't get brown, so you can see this one's been in the freezer for a while, and I personally love it. I like my smoothies thicker, but not everybody does. I'm just throwing it in just whole. I'm going to throw in some strawberries. Got some freshly cut up strawberries. I'm going to throw these guys in. And I'm going to throw some Greek yogurt. I love Greek yogurt, and I personally like the vanilla flavor. So this is typically one of the first ones that I have. Add a little more, there we go. All right, and I think I'm going to add just a little bit of orange juice, because I can tell this is really frozen, and for it to start blending, it's going to need a little bit of liquid in there. All right. So I'm going to close it up and give it a spin. Oops, did that wrong. There we go. All right, so I'm going to be quiet for a second, but I'll let it do its business. Awesome. So something else I'm going to quickly add, because this is what my husband's preference is right now, is adding some peanut butter to it. This was his request. So nobody else is home but he and I, so we're going to be making some smoothies that we like. All right, so I'm using peanut butter. I'm just going to use a glob. That's a lot, but we tend to like peanut butter as a protein. Now, I know that you guys got a sheet that was part of your kit. And I know it is kind of like, your guide to making smoothies. And it has a lot of different items on here. So I just want to comment that, you're not even limited to this list. You can look far and wide. And if you have any type of diet that you are following, that's no problem either, as far as that goes, because we tend to use what's in the house. I'm going to point out a couple things I have on the back counter here. If you are limited as far as the type of sugar, I recommend you would use honey or maple syrup if you wanted extra sweetness. You can also use clear agave syrup, as well as organic coconut palm sugar. These are all natural sugars. I don't think you necessarily have to add any type of sugar if you don't want to. Other kinds of proteins I want to point out. I have almond meal right here. And again, that adds kind of a fun texture. Flax seeds, chia seeds, any of those type of things. Just add texture and add protein as well. You can add avocado and a couple other things I also have. So coconut milk. Instead of using any type of milk, or if you have any dairy issues, you can definitely use your yogurt as well as coconut milk, coconut cream. Any of these type of things are great. One thing I know that is added on here, 100% juice. Some of us don't think about that, but I fully recommend using 100% juice. You got to look on the label to make sure it's 100% juice, and that is really, really important. So I'm going to finish this guy up. There we go. Oh, that looks yummy. And I think we're done. Doesn't that look yummy? Look at that, you guys. Look at the fun color, the pinks. All right, so with the magic of camera, we will see you back for another smoothie recipe. And we're back. Again, love the magic of computers making this all happen. So to be specific about the recipe that I just did, I use one frozen banana, and it was a larger one that I used. I used about a cup of strawberries. Those are just fresh strawberries. Those weren't frozen, but if you like it frozen, you can do that as well. I had about a cup of the vanilla Greek yogurt and about a cup of the peanut butter. Again, just adding something so it'll stick with you a little bit longer. That the peanut butter adds a little bit of protein. And the next one that I'm going to do is, it's an anti-inflammatory super berry smoothie. So it has 1 cup of strawberries, 1 cup of raspberries, 1 cup of blackberries, and a cup of baby spinach. And then it says pomegranate juice, like a cup of pomegranate juice, but I have orange juice, so I'm going to use what I have on hand. And also, I'm going to also add some soy protein powder. So basically why I'm doing that is, I'm going to actually have this for lunch when I'm done. So it is something, so you're not going to burn off the carbohydrates of the sugar, of the carbohydrates of the strawberries and the fruit. So it's just going to stick with you a little bit longer, and you'll stay fuller longer. You can add avocado if you like that. That will really not add any extra flavor per se. You're not going to taste the avocado. It's just going to add a real creamy texture to the smoothie. So that is what the next recipe is. And I'm also going to provide a couple of extra smoothie recipes, and that will be provided to you. I'm not sure how that's going to come across on the app or in addition to the video, but just know that there's other recipes coming as well. So start with the strawberries. Add those. Gonna add about a cup of blueberries, cup of raspberries. Now I'm gonna just grab a handful. That's not a cup. That is my fresh baby spinach. A little bit more, because that's kind of like a packed down cup that they're talking about. All right, grab orange juice. Again, 100% orange juice, important. And you notice that I did not just rewash my hands only because I was just washing my blender out. So then it said 3 tablespoons of protein powder. So that's what this scooper is. Add that guy in there. All right. We love smoothies in our house. Again, so tasty, so flavorful. If you think that you need the sweetness added, you can add a little bit of honey or maple syrup. Those are the sugars that I would recommend using. All right, that up. All right, here we go. Okay, what you guys can't see is that there's a spinach leaf that is stuck inside. So I'm just gonna release this, push it down a little bit. Again, I'm not even close to the blade. And I'm reminding you never to use the blender without an adult, because you just wanna make sure they handle the blade, an adult does, just because nobody wants to cut their fingers because those blades are incredibly sharp. All right. Give it one last blend. All right, you guys, this is gonna be my lunch. You see how purple that is and how beautiful that is? Can't wait. All right, so one other thing I did want to kind of talk about is another type of plant-based protein that you can always consider is using tofu. I know some people might say, ew, tofu, but tofu doesn't have much of a taste, and it is based out of soy. So tofu is something you can keep on hand. So a brick of the one recommendation that they did talk about was the silkened tofu, and a half a cup of silkened tofu is it whops 8 grams of protein. There are 0 carbohydrates in that, 1 gram of fat, tons of calcium, a lot of iron, and again, it's going to be something that's just going to hang around in your belly a little bit longer, so you're not hungry right away. So they also recommend with the tofu is you freeze it, so you can add it directly to your blender and add that thickness. I love thick. I tend to eat my smoothies with a spoon. That's the way I prefer to do it. But that is just one other technique and thought that you could do. Again, see what's in your refrigerator. I have carrots, I have celery, I've got cantaloupe, I've got a watermelon sitting on my counter back there. Those are all things you can add to your smoothie. And again, you can make your own creations with what you like and what you have in your pantry. So hope you learned a little bit here, and we look forward to you trying your next smoothie. Report back. So I want to hear how you guys, what your recipes are and how you created yours. Thanks for tuning in.